All right, getting into this one, I couldn't be more excited to join the NA scene. Appreciate being able to jump in here. Just the opportunity to get to showcase some of the world's best, Andy. And like we said, we talked about G2 a little bit. Optic Gaming coming off that loss in that previous series against Cloud9. You never want to lose to a team, especially one that just made a change, especially one that gives you a bit of a headache like Cloud9 does to Optic Gaming. And as we take a look at the series layout, I think Recharge Oddball is a good way for Optic to rebound. What's your opinion at taking a look at these 5 game types?
I'm saying, how do we get a draw with no new game types? That's what I'm saying.
I think that's what Optic wants to see at this point. They're like, Catalyst, like, get me off that for now. We need to mentally reset. We don't have enough practice there. So I actually like the fact that Optic Gaming gets that opportunity. G2, if you're going to beat the green wall in this one, you're going to have to do it with the most practice game types that Optic is at. You're not going to get any easy wins along the way.
It's true. There's going to be no shortcuts here as we're getting ready for this game number 1. But like you said, certainly the furthest we've seen G2 in any HCS tournament in Halo Infinite. Pretty big opportunity for them, especially if they're able to win this series. I think that they know just how much is on the line. I think this could honestly be the beginning of a very different chapter for G2 in terms of the year.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure what the story is with Rami, if he's an official member, if he's just a substitution. But I mean, after a performance like the one today, it's going to be hard not to keep him if they can take down a team like Optic and already into combat. Unfortunately for G2 fans, it's a quick wipe of the members from G2. Optic Gaming look like they are headed to the grand finals if they can keep this up.
That was textbook. We've almost deja vu. You saw Lucid grab the ball. He also grapples the shock, flies right up top as well. TriPPPeY surprisingly not able to get any kills through that exchange, so the ball will be dropped. Not that much time on the board for Optic. They'll go 3 dead now.
No, what was once an opportunity for a full setup. All the power on the map in Optic's hands. G2 came off spawn, broke that one pretty quickly, so a good job to make sure that damage from the beginning opening strat didn't turn out to be too much. And now Gilkey with this shock rifle. Such an opportunity to maybe find a pick or two. Allow his team to get off to an early lead. That's just what they have in store. 2 players are going to be pushing this ball carrier, and Gilkey's going to get aggressive here. Finds himself the double. Wants to get back into pipes. Doesn't have a grapple, and unfortunately, because he doesn't, it's going to be a little bit more difficult as he starts to receive some pressure from the respawners.
Gilk thought he had one more grapple there. You could tell based on where he threw his crosshair. It wasn't the case in the end, but still, based off these first few minutes, you feel like G2 has not only gotten the better of it in a situation maybe that they shouldn't have, but they also are leading on the scoreboard as well, 20-7.
Yeah, it's if you're going to catch Optic off guard, maybe a little slumped after that loss to Cloud9, you know, they're probably shaking their head. Not a lot of time to rebound or regain, I should say. So G2 coming off hot is exactly what the doctor ordered for their success. Unfortunately for them, APG with this ball now in pipes gets good information that Sav has crossed over towards the elevator. He's going to get taken down. And as we switch over to Formal's point of view, a good time to switch because he's picked up a double and he's making his way towards camo.
Look at APG as well. What a start for him, 5-3 with some ball time on the board as well. It feels like after that one performance that left a bit to be desired earlier in the bracket, he just took that to heart. He woke up and made sure that that does not repeat. He's been on fire since. Lucid with another ball grab going up top. We'll see if G2 can make the push here on top gold.
TriPPPeY knows the Gilkey has camo. Formal able to give them that information. Some look for G2 to try and find an opening push potentially with that camo. We're on board with Sab, and just too much teamwork from Optic Gaming is going to find the first pick, and that first pick is such a crucial kill when you have this full setup. But grenades across the map from the Gilk Dud himself, killing the ball carrier. And even though kills are being traded right now, Andy, that kill onto the ball carrier subsides any of the points being accumulated by Optic for now.
Fantastic nades from Gilkey. I think he actually got the stick on the Hail Mary with the plasma. The frag was just there in the pipes to do some extra damage as well. And Gilkey able to do that from the double stack, and maybe gonna make players think twice about peeking back ledge like that with the ball, as they do pay the price in a big way. However, Optic Gaming still leading here, 45-21.
You want to talk about talented players when they're on fire? This straight sick, he's been doing it a long time, and when he's on, he can spar with the best of them as far as the shot's concerned. And a couple of kills going in G2's favor now as they start to jump out to a little bit of a setup here. Unfortunately, the ball's forced to be played. TriPPPeY just gets behind enemy lines and is such a nuisance. APG right there with him, and this is the Optic Gaming you know and love. 3 dead for G2 Esports.
Yep, and this looks like if Optic has about 2 more holds like that, they will take the game. I mean, this is what G2 really, this was always going to be their superpower. G2 was holding forward, flying at you. Players, look at the names on the screen. Remy, Sab, Gilkey, Straight Sick. These guys can just sprint right at you. They're going to win battles they shouldn't. They're going to outshoot you, but so far hasn't paid off for them in the second half of this round.
Yeah, typically a strategy like that works against those top 12, maybe top 16 teams, but when you play a team like Optic that just has straight shooters across the board, it's a much more difficult strategy to implement. Camo does go in the hands of Sav as we see it from APG's point of view, but that's a beautiful melee repulsor to get that kill under Ramy to stay alive. And now G2 have to worry about him before they can get any points.
I love that, dude. APG's just bullying people off of gold. He's like, I don't care how many times you jump up on this gold ledge, I'm going to repulsor you off every single time. APG's still alive at gold, by the way. Still doing damage. He's going to get the ball as well once it spawns. He'll be the first to fly up to bat ledge. And this is what we said. This guy does it all. Only 15 points to go.
When you have the most kills and the most time, that's usually a sign that you were playing pretty well. And APG right now in this first round, absolutely on fire. Still alive in this pipes. Still the biggest headache for G2 to try and deal with. They lose 2 members as they try to push into pipes. The last 2 not in a great position, especially as they're getting shot in the back here. And APG wisely just damage without receiving damage, kills without going down. That is a recipe for success. APG is cooking up.
My God, look at that. The round's going to end. I mean, just like you said, he's 12-4 with 38 seconds, leads the game, I think, in every single category at this point, maybe outside of assists. We'll take a look at the scoreboard once this actually starts.
Yeah, I mean,
leading
it's hard
in every
to get assists when you're finishing your kills. That's the thing.
It's true. It's true. My God, what a first round for APG. Optic will take the first one.
Making his way towards Camo, so love the fact that we're able to just watch, rinse, repeat, keep it on APG's screen. Can he secure this Camo for his team's the big question. Unfortunately, he loses all 3 members to this. This is going to be an impossible task. And just like that, GTU finally takes 4 of them, but they take him down. APG in the death cam. This could be their time to capitalize.
You know what we needed there for APG was an actual timer of how long he was alive at Golden Pipes, because I swear it was like 3+ minutes that he was just running laps around bat ledge, back to top gold, just picking up kills, as you said, doing so much damage and barely taking any himself, let alone not dying. First points in this round, though, as you say, will go to the side of G2.
Speaking of staying alive, Sab with this Camo doing a good job to find that first pick and then get his shield back. Unfortunately, that repulsor from APG, once again, the focus on the equipment from Optic Gaming is obvious. If you paid attention to these first 2 rounds, that repulsor has paid so many dividends for APG in these lives, and taking down that Camo player and Sab was a big win because now they have their own setup. And unfortunately, just 18 points was acquired before G2's esports setup was broken, and now we'll see how Optic get to respond.
Man advantage here still in favor of G2. 2 are going to be dead, so it should still be continued control, especially if they can keep the spawn trap going. Gilkey not aware that Formal was up top. Formal's going to do whatever he can to stay alive with the shock.
Formal with the double. Can he find the triple? Sab's running away with this ball, trying to rotate it away because he knows Formal's behind him. Unfortunately, right into TriPPPeY and APG's hands. That's ball back in the hands of Optic Gaming, and Formal almost getting a spawn kill there with the shock rifle as well. We know how lethal this man can be, especially in these positions. Straight Sick, he's knocked to no shield. Can't quite finish it, and this could be an overextension from Formal. Exactly what G2 won. Unfortunately, they lose Ramy in the meantime. Wow. How does Formal get away with this, and the Camo as well? And like you said, it looked like an overextension in the end. Somehow makes it work, of course, with a lot of support from the team as well. Yeah, somehow, some way. These players on Optic just staying alive, and when they stay alive, it gives opportunity for plays to be made. Like the ones we're watching, it's a double kill with this Camo shock. The second Formal picked this Camo up, you knew it was going to be a very troublesome time for the G2 esports team, and Formal just able to anchor now as he's find those first 2 picks. Good damage on the Sab. Can't quite hit Gilk yet, but Gilk finally takes him down, but the damage has been done. The score 72-23. Yeah, my God, that's what we know Formal is capable of. Plays like that, just busting the game wide open and then proceeding to play chess while everyone else is playing checkers, eventually making the play to Needles just to be able to grab that Camo, puts himself in position for the power-up, strings together so many more kills as well. On top of that, Formal's still holding pipe, so this is going to be more continued time for the side of Optic. APG running it right into straight sick. Unfortunately, he thought the pipes area was going to be an open opportunity to rotate it back in there. G2 look like they finally have shut down, but you still got to deal with Lucid somehow. And Lucid with this grapple, we know what he can do. He's going to be able to apply so much pressure so quickly. Straight sick had to play the ball even. So you thought G2, after taking down Formal, taking down APG, they were going to be able to have a setup of their own, but Lucid said no.
This is Lucid's jungle gym. Look at the fact he doesn't even, the floor is lava, doesn't even tap the toes against any lower part of the map during this entire time. Always has a height advantage, always has the right angle, and now going to loop back. They're only 10 points away from closing out the round.
It's been a long journey for G2 throughout today's Pro Series, but this game won. Going pretty quickly, 90-26 now. Just 10 points is all Optic need, and Lucid, he's not going to overextend for any ball time here. They have the entire clock to play with. Don't even need to get these last 10, but I can almost guarantee it's going to happen with one more round of slays, and 2 members from G2 drop very quickly.
Optic Gaming, despite that last series against Cloud9, bouncing back so strong, it looks like really showing no signs of slowing. They will get the ball in hand as well. Just 5 seconds to go.
Formal with another double. The ball's in hand. Does momentarily get dropped. Can't quite figure out a way to get those last 2 seconds as APG was taken down in pipes, but Lucid knows it's just a one-on-one. He needs to win against Rami, but Rami, he shows up in the meantime. TriPPPeY finds that kill with the nade. Maybe wants to get his stats up a little bit, not prioritizing the ball just yet.
I was going to say, just maybe an opportunity for 1 or 2 extras here in the pipes. Nice commando shots, but Straight Sick had something to say about it. He'll scoop up the grapple as well. So while it feels inevitable, the points are not on the board yet.
Inevitable. You have to think Optic are going to be done slaying G2 eventually. 2 seconds. The ball gets reset. Of course it does. And then the grenade takes APG down. It's a shame on you, Optic. You deserve a few deaths for not ending this one a little bit quicker. Maybe messing up the KDAs just a little bit.
Oh, man. I think APG made it look like he was going for the ball, but he knew it was about to reset. So he's actually just going to let the ball get tossed. They're not done slaying just yet. A few more points on the board. Got a repulsor as well, does Sap, so he's going to have a play ball opportunity if he needs to here.
You know he will. Just to extend this game maybe a little bit longer as the ball does get taken down. Doesn't even get played.
There we go.
Does get played. And now Formal. Not going to go for the ball either. He's going to go for this kill bottom middle. And somebody has got to own the last 2 seconds here. Optic Gaming. Figure it out. Get camo.
Figure it out. Formal's your guy. 99-100 Optic Gaming will close out game number 1 of your elimination finals with plenty of extra style points on the board.
It's about time. In all seriousness. Optic looking very strong there in game 1, and as well as G2's been playing, they're going to need to figure out a way to play much better if they want this series to go any farther than 3, because this is a very focused and determined Optic Gaming team. Andy, I had the opportunity to talk to these guys Sunday night after a disappointing finish in Kansas City, and these guys were hungry. They want it. It may not be able to be reconciled here in the Pro Series, but you know, along the way, they want to have their wins. They want to build momentum going into the next major. And a little bit of momentum can be built today if they're able to take this Pro Series, and they got to get back to play Cloud9. This is the first step in the right direction.
Certainly. APG and Formal, great numbers there. We'll take a look at damage as well, just because there was a lot on the board, especially when you look at a player like Formal cracking 7K when no one else even cracked 6K. Big numbers from him.
Big numbers, big damage from Formal. When Formal's laying down damage like that, the game becomes a lot easier for the entire team, and it's a lot more difficult to play when you're always weak, let me tell you. As much as it looked like Gilkey was going to start off this game and on a tear, great grenades there, but even with some of the camo control that G2 had, just not a lot of success being done, and that's a testament to Optic's ability to adapt and to play from maybe not the biggest advantage at times. And I think that that's what this Optic team is very keen to doing. They understand that they don't need all of the power on the map in order to have success, and they know how to play around enemy players with camo. But I mean, when Formal gets camo, he pairs it with the power on the map. That's when this team gets special.
Also love how Formal wasted no time. Like we said, he picks up the double kill at Pipes, immediately throws himself onto Needles in a risky move that I think you and I both thought might have been an overextension, but there's a reason that Formal's now behind the sticks on the Optic Gaming side, and we get to talk about it because he somehow then strings together that with the camo, pulls together what felt like a killing spree thereafter as well. And once you do something like that, he blew the game wide open. 2-0 win for Optic Gaming.
Not to beat a dead horse, but we know Live Fire Slayer is going to be a strong game type for Optic Gaming, something we've been saying since the game came out. This team, for some reason, Live Fire just makes sense to them. So for if you're G2, Andy, what are some things you can do to get back into this series? Because as an underdog, I always will say the Slayers are must-wins.
Absolutely. I think the first thing is believe, right? Just because they also might have seen Optic actually lose on Live Fire earlier today to Pioneers. Maybe just a little bit of a crack in the armor in terms of how Live Fire goes. That was, of course, not a Slayer, but still a Live Fire game type regardless. But I think G2 knows the amount of raw talent on this team, the amount of aggression and pressure they can apply, and certainly a team that can steal a Slayer here. Let's see if they can do it.
All right. The man of game one, APG, finds himself the first kill Formal and the kill feed as well. That's never a good sign for G2 fans. And this opening battle, it looks like Sab has been able to find the snipe. And Rob, I'm not sure how much you've had the opportunity to watch Sab over the years, but this is one of those young talents I'll always talk about that has so much potential, that gives this G2 team so much firepower. 2 kills already to his name, the opportunity to really extend a lead in his team's favor with snipe in hand.
Ooh, gets melted, unfortunately. Not only the commando of TriPPPeY, but also a spike grenade came into play as well. That's why he went down so fast. Gilkey there to clean up the scraps on sandbags for just a second. I think Straightsick snuck away with the heat wave for just a second on concrete. He will fall, though, so just like that, still a 2-kill game.
Can Lucid find the snipe is the question. Sab finding himself a double, make it a triple in the kill feed. Finding himself at 5-0-1. Knows that snipe's down around here too. Yes, sir. Able to find that S7. Now what can he do? A body shot onto APG, that's good, but not good enough. Nobody able to finish it just yet. Can't quite hit the shot onto Formal either, and difficult quick scopes there for Sab, but he's gonna try and relocate here, and I actually like that decision. Should have information from his teammate that players are pushing into house and just nobody home for these shots, and because of it, Optic able to make this just a 3-kill game.
Knew the pressure was coming, you could tell by the way. Oh my God.
That's a shotgun, by the way.
My heat wave does not hit like that. Does your heat wave hit like that?
No, sir.
Oh my God. Connects every single pellet without a doubt. In a way we've never seen. That thing was supercharged, and to be honest, we're gonna have to have the authorities check out that heat wave, because that thing is not regulation. That is not standard issue. That thing hit hard.
I'll be talking to the design team tomorrow about that range.
Hope everyone had a good evening. I have a clip to show you. We're gonna start the meeting off with this heat wave, Exhibit A, because we've never seen a hit like that. 19-16 in favor of G2. Straightsick with an overshield in hand.
Straightsick. All right, G2, much different story now. You're up. 4 kills here. You want to see Straightsick get involved in some of this combat with this overshield. You want to see him be the bulk of the damage coming out from this G2 team, maybe receiving some as well as it's starting to dwindle down. Unfortunately, Straightsick turns the wrong corner, and there's 2 members of Optic. They made slight work of him, and that just shows you a sample of, even with an overshield, teamwork can prevail in Optic Gaming. They have tons of it.
Yeah, G2 takes the Optic bait there. They were hoping that a player was going to wrap around there to try to check Rat Tunnel and check on the platform. That's exactly what happened. They're able to melt the overshield, and that's more like what my heat wave does, by the way. Yeah. Just all the shots going straight to the right. Sniper in hands of TriPPPeY. He will fall right away. That's going to be 2 dead for the side of G2, but still a very, very close game here. Only 3 kills separating them.
Lucid did just pick up snipe. Needs to win this one-on-one, and good help from Rami, because Straightsick was in trouble there, and taking down Lucid with that snipe before he's able to do too much damage, or any damage at all, actually. That's a massive kill. Some kills way more, in my opinion, than others, and that one right there, with what we know Lucid's capable of, especially with the S7 on this map, that was a massive stall in the potential for Optic Gaming's win condition here. And now Sab with another opportunity to redeem himself. Found this snipe, 5 shots in hand, up 6 kills, everything G2 wants to see.
Pretty uncharacteristic there from TriPPPeY. He flies scoreboard and he gets 3 players weak on sandbags, and from a disadvantageous angle really tried to finish one of those. Even though he had help on Keydor, it's really Ormo. Sab with the shots there against Formal on the overshield. That should also secure a G2 overshield as well. And you can tell Optic Gaming just getting a little bit desperate here, and G2 answering the call.
You want to talk about kills that mean more than others? That one secures his team an overshield. It allows him to keep snipe. All the momentum stays in G2's favor because of that 4. Sab keeping his team in the lead now by 5. Hasn't quite done too much with this snipe. Hasn't needed to. Relocates all the way to elbow too. So should be able to catch somebody off guard, you would think. Oh my, APG, even when he sees him, it doesn't matter. The quick scope comes through, and Sab starting to really show his individual presence here on the map.
You said it. He didn't hit the earlier snipes, and my God, did he ever hit that one there. I thought APG had him dead to rights from the garage to nest angle. The no-scope comes in from distance. That will bring the game now to 36-29.
Trey6 needs to stay alive, but also wants to help his teammate. Does a good job to do the first. Can he do the second now? 2 players, no shield. Nobody on Optic able to capitalize on this damage done, and because of it, now a 7-kill lead for G2, doing everything right on a very strong game type for Optic Gaming. This would be a statement from G2 to get back into this series. It's a best of 5. You have every opportunity to try and create probably the biggest upset from G2 Esports' tournament career so far. But Lucid and TriPPPeY, they find 1, they find 2, make it 3. Nobody on Optic going down in the meantime. So what was once a 7-kill game now cut down to 4.
Yeah, they trade 4 for 1 there. It's a great trade. And the second you saw 3 players on sandbags on Optic Gaming, you know that was no mistake. They were going to try to close down green. They had a perfect collapse on green. And now they, like you say, bring the game within 4, 40-36.
You wave in the hands of Lucid. Doing some strange things this game. Sab with a nice drop wall. Can he get the overshield though? No, it's not active, but the trade might be good enough to buy some time for his teammates. Unfortunately, his teammates, they're getting flanked by multiple members of Optic, and Gilkey's gonna have to hit one hell of a shot. He lands a body actually under TriPPPeY, and grenades coming through as well. So good trades from G2 Esports. Unfortunately, I do believe Optic Gaming have found that overshield, and APG needs to stay alive here. Only down 4 kills, but as we continue to approach 50, every single one of these trades from G2 means it's one step closer to getting the victory, and Rami able to get one before he goes down. So that was a great job by him as well.
Yeah, well, I don't know how they let Remy get that kill there. They actually did not push in together, letting Remy get that 47th kill. But now here we are, 47-45, home stretch, far from over. TriPPPeY with overshield and sniper.
4 bullets to work with. You're only down 2. You do the math. This should have some left over to extend the lead if he can hit these shots. Unfortunately, he's gonna push with this BR out. Switches weapons, hits the no-scope, and the melee. 2, make it 3 members go down. It's all of a sudden 48-48.
Oh my God, tie game 49-48. Now G2 only needing 1 kill. Lucid needs to be very careful. He'll no room for error. Checking the corner. Sniper's out.
Oh, no.
He hits the body. Repulsor's out. 49-48 still. Optic Gaming here, down by 1.
Lucid does not play the same game I do. Somehow he gets out of there with his life, gets his shield back, but that body shot bought enough time for all of that to happen. Still, 1 kill to go. 2 bullets in the hands of Lucid, and both of these are headshots. That's going to be game. Can he find the picks? Can he find the opening? Gilkey's down here somewhere. Lucid knows it.
Because Lucid hit that body shot bottom mid, G2 knows he has the sniper. They might not know exactly how many shots, but like you said earlier, do the math. Lucid, game in his hands here. Overshield coming up now.
Yeah, here comes the battle for overshield. They're going to have to go for it, and G2, I want them to bait this, because if they start to extend, you know Lucid's going to hit the shot with the way he's been aiming. Spots Sab, and wisely G2 not going for it yet, but honestly, somebody from Optic is going to have to make a play here. Somebody's got to have to choose what to do. APG is going to be forced to back up. Trying to keep eyes on that overshield. It's just Lucid watching it. Maybe there's an opportunity here, but APG with some grenades. Lucid, TriPPPeY find 2, and all of a sudden, Optic Gaming out of nowhere win game 2, 50-49. G2 could not find the last one they needed to tie this one up, and because of it now, Optic Gaming, the green wall, 1 game away from back to the grand finals.
Oh my God, how many times have we seen Optic Gaming, especially late game live fire Slayer, pull out all of the pieces? APG, by the way, only quarter shields. One more nade went top mid from House. He was done for. Stays alive in the cuts. They shift all their energy to overshield side, and they close it out in the nick of time. What a comeback there. Taking a look at the stats in that 50-49.
Tough game from Formal, but when you can go 6-16 and still get the win, that's good signs of things to come, especially if it's Formal going that negative, because you know he's going to bring it.
That's a once a year stat from Formal. So we've used the 6-16. Don't worry, that one's out the window.
And you got a dub.
You won't see Formal do it again. 19-12 from Lucid there.
Well, absolutely every bit of the 19-12 needed from Lucid, but that his ability to stay alive there, as Gilkey was receiving multiple reinforcements bottom middle. The help was on the way from G2. Lucid, his only play was to repulsor up. He actually does it, somehow lands in front of the tower as well, because if he doesn't land in front of the tower, Andy, another grenade is going to take him down. He's going to be in the sight lines of these players.
And they're bouncing dummy ramp, right? They're bouncing off dummy ramp, so they're going to be in the air as well. He had to repulsor straight up, just like he said.
I want to talk about the end too. Like, the fact that Overshield's up and G2, they played scared, and so often I feel like we see these teams in these opportunities, especially in the Slayers, they play on their back heels, they play not to make mistakes, right? And you know Lucid has that snipe, and when you get an opportunity to find out information that, hey, two are top middle, like they did, they saw APG, they saw another player top middle, I mean, hopefully you're able to do some deduction skills there as a G2 player, and you're able to say, hey, there's very limited resources watching this overshield right now. If multiple people fly out, there's no way Lucid hits both of us. And if he does, well, we'll go down in history as being part of the sickest clip of all time. But
absolutely, I agree. Look at this. Just look at that. And just like you said, had to hit that repulsor. Here we are. Final moments here. We're taking a look from Lucid's POV. Oh my God, that's the POV that we didn't see. Hits the first one, which is absolutely huge. Then the double cuts push to clean it out. Huge shout out to our observers in studio at the Esports Engine HQ for catching that Lucid POV as well. That's how it went down. That's how they'll win game number 2.
If you're gonna Monday morning quarterback, you got to send more than just a Sab to be in Lucid's crosshair there, because when there's one player and he can focus on him, Lucid, he's shown us for the last 9 months that he is going to hit that shot 10 out of 10 times, it feels. So unfortunately for G2, close but no cigar. You're down 0-2 now in the elimination finals. It's going to be a Streets Strongholds game that can keep you in it, but this is another strong game for Optic Gaming, and Formal has already found himself some rockets and is already putting him to work with a double kill of his own.
Yeah, you can tell Formal not a huge fan of the numbers of the last game and wants to make sure to end this series in style and with some even more impressive numbers on the board. Somehow even almost wins that battle through the drop shield. Eventually, Gilkey will clear him out of back tram, but an opportunity for Optic Gaming to 3-0 and convincingly head back into our grand finals.
Yeah, and you know they want to get there fast, right? They want to get there riding some momentum, and with 3-0 in the elimination finals is all the momentum you could ask for from a Green Wall fan, so just one more game to do it, and Lucid finding a nice pick on the Sad, turning around, some good teamwork, and allowing him to trade onto straight sick as well. And Optic Gaming, although they don't have control right now, those should be the kills that create the opening to take control of B. They're also over in C, so this is potentially a total control situation we're about to be looking at. It's just a matter of how long can they keep it, how long or how quickly can G2 get out of it.
Yeah, let's see. G2, good win there on A. Even though they went straight into Stronghold, they're able to get that one. It looks like even working on C, and somehow Optic Gaming does not get the flip on Tram. So a little bit of, we didn't have information on screen, but interesting that Optic was not able to flip on C. So the points will come a little bit slowly, but still, as you say, you can kind of feel that Optic Gaming momentum coming.
Yeah, Lucid trying to be aggressive over towards C. Unfortunately, he's kind of by himself, runs into multiple members there. He gets taken down, so an overextension from Lucid. We'll see. G2 can capitalize on that. They did just lose A and B. With rockets coming up in 10 seconds, you want to compete for those. You know how much damage Formal was able to do at the early game with those. Unfortunately, Formal with the Stalker and the Thrust just goes straight forward at Rami, taking him down, creating the opening. And as rockets come up, the slays come through for Optic once again.
I mean, what can you even do when you have a player like Formal, just as you say, forward thrusting there with the Stalker, hitting perfect shots as well. Off the rack for TriPPPeY. He'll pick up 2 on the way down. 3 dead for G2. Again, triple cap for Optic Gaming.
You could have written this book and read it 100 times, because the second that Optic got 4 dead as rockets were coming up, they get another 4 dead. Again, it turns into a trip cap, and now all of a sudden what was once an early lead for G2 is now a 50-point lead and climbing for Optic Gaming.
APG almost gets away with that as well, just being so sneaky. And as you say, that clock is ticking real hard if you're the side of G2, and it's looking like this series may not last too long. Already across the 100-point mark is Optic Gaming, and you see that time and time. Oh no, Formal with a free back whack on Sab as well. Maybe just didn't see him around the corner. That's going to add insult to injury and salt to the wound.
Trying to stop the bleeding with Sab, but unfortunately just not the due diligence to check his corners there, and Formal just gets the easy timing, the easy back smack to continue to press the numbers advantage, the pressure onto G2. 131 to 26 now, and continuing to climb. They did lose C momentarily, but just like that, 3 dead for G2. C gets transferred back over.
My God.
Information on where Gilk is, back tower. Formal, he's able to take him down with the commando. Can't quite stay alive from the death grenade, but the damage has been done, and it's a direct result in the score here. 162 now to 26.
I mean, time and time again, we see it so often. The more confident team that has a little bit more experience on these stronghold game types, reset there for APG. They're okay letting the first 25, 30 points go, right? They're going to make sure that they get control of the map, they get control of the exact areas they want to, and from there, they will rack up points, and that's exactly what Optic Gaming has done. They will continue to hold BC, and now just shy of the 200-point mark.
Rockets are coming up in 5, so pay attention to the kill feed. Lucid picking up a big one to start this one off, and the Rockets pop up. APG and Gilky are in a one-on-one. They've been battling each other for a little bit now. APG is going to try and relocate, runs right into multiple members of G2, so this could be G2's opening to try and secure some power weapons, but unfortunately TriPPPeY and Formal, of course, are bottom middle, getting a few kills, securing the rockets, and now stuck in PD is Gilk coming off spawn, and that's an easy rocket that knocks not only a player out of the game and into respawn, but another one to no shield, gets another player to no shield as well, and Optic just using these rockets so successfully.
I tell you what, folks, if you were hoping to get a refreshment, a beverage, or a snack before the grand finals, now's a good time to do so. It's 226 to 26. Optic Gaming looking for the clean sweep here and to get, as we said, into the grand finals as fast as humanly possible. And this has been a walk in the park for Optic Gaming. There's really no way to put it. It's been a fantastic run for G2. They will remain 3 dead. And on the side of Optic, big numbers from every single player on the stage.
This Optic Gaming team, don't forget how strong they looked going into Kansas City. They want to become even better before the next major. They are not satisfied. And although they did lose that winners bracket finals, they want to find themselves back to the grand finals, and they're headed there now with the 3-0 here over G2 Esports. Optic Gaming will have another opportunity to reset the bracket, to claim this Pro Series championship here today. And it's on the back of a stellar performance from every member, but most importantly, Lucid in that game too, really making some plays that changed the outcome of what potentially could have been a much closer series.
My God, 250 to 26 to close it out. That is a convincing victory if we've ever seen one, and maybe the largest score delta that we've seen in something like an elimination bracket finals. Pretty big statement there from Optic Gaming, as we'll take a look at some of the stats.
Good kills across the board. Everybody on Optic doing their thing, and when you win 250 to 26, it really has to be a collective team effort. It's usually not just one guy popping off. Not even enough time. As we look at the duration of 5 minutes and 37 seconds, not even enough time for these guys to really explode in the statistic category. But when you compare damage numbers, you look at Formal once again, 4K. Everyone on G2, a little bit over 2, maybe 2,600 is not too shabby, but compared to the amount of damage Formal is able to do in one game, it's just leagues and bounds over some of these players. You saw it in game 1, you see it in game 3, and that's really the story. His impact on the match is felt.